I started out thinking like, that's pretty good, like fine, interesting. And then as I get older, as I rewatch it a few times now, it's too much. It feels like it's too much. I feel like it thinks it's more clever than it is.
It insists upon itself, Lois.
What?
It insists upon itself.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
And it's very sort of it's preachy is the word I was just going to use. It's preachy, but I'm not even talking about like the messaging race stuff. I think it's like preachy for like an art film. Like I can hear the artist thinking they're creating such beautiful art.
Yeah.
Outside of the subject matter of the film. And that as an adult bothers me because I don't think, like, I think subtlety in your art is better than the brashness of this type of film, where it's like, I know how to prove a point, and I know how to artfully and tastefully discuss subject matter. You know, I can just hear it. It oozes it. That's what I feel when I watch the movie, and it rubs me the wrong way today.
Yes.
I didn't really catch a lot of that when I was younger, or feel that way when I was younger.
For sure. It is incredibly unsubtle. Like that.
Yes.
That is, I think, a fair criticism.
But still, it's got to get to you. On a gut level, as a black man, they just can't keep their hands out of the cookie jar.
I think the really kind of universal criticisms, we can kind of start there, are that, and also that, like, I mean, there's a lot. I think the reasons why it's aged so poorly, like the views, the way it portrays race relations or people's kind of like racial feelings, these tensions, it is too much. It is over the top. And I remember thinking that even as a 20-year-old, being like, oh, in the first scene, there's a car accident, and the Hispanic lady's saying Blake lights, and
maybe you see over steering wheel, you Blake too.
Man.
And the Asian gal's calling her
Stupid what?
you know, a Mexican slur, which I can say, but I'm not going to. I'm half Mexican. Take a shot. But it's just like, oh, so these people, it's to me, that's so over the top. And I think maybe it's not, maybe it is like this to some people, but I remember watching this movie and being like, wait a minute, like, this is life for people? Like, every interaction you have is so race forward.
Yo, Osama, plan the jihad on your own time.
Fucking black people, huh?
Don't talk to me unless you speak American.
Well then I guess the big mystery is, who gathered all those remarkably different cultures together and taught them all how to park their cars on their lawns?
Where every single thing is motivated by your like disgust about another race. Like it felt like so much. It's like distracting almost. Like it's almost comical how quickly they go from like, oh, why'd you slam on your brakes? Oh, because you're fucking Asian. You know, it's just like, oh, Jesus. Like what? Just from ear to ear, all of a sudden.
Yeah. It goes 0 to 100.
In every scene. It's like
every
people
situation.
just can't wait to like point out how racially different you are and why that makes you awful. Like it's really, really crazy over the top. But then the expanding criticism about that is that everybody's so obsessed with the race and the negative aspects of our differences, but also it treats those opinions as just things that can kind of change very flippantly and easily, and like, oh yeah, you know, we all have racist thoughts, but if you just, you know, if your Latina housemaid helps you when you fall down the stairs, maybe you're gonna learn that everything's actually, maybe some of them are pretty good. Like it's just very...
and that is the hardest thing for this movie. Like, you're digging yourself such a deep hole to say, like, the resolution of this film now has to solve racism. It's impossible. You know, like, it's just not... because that's all the film is about. Like, that's what the film is about. It's about people dealing with their race and being judgmental of other people, like, all their prejudice and it comes from everywhere. And there's... And that's the thing that overshadows these and drives forward these individual stories. So how do you, the film as a whole is just dealing with racism. That's what the film is. You're not just telling one human story, you're telling 10 different stories. So if the whole thing is just generally about racism and race relations, how do you have a satisfying ending? Like how do you have an ending that really makes you feel like positive, I'm only left with like, wow, we are fucked, huh?